Thank you so much. My name's James Mawson, founder and editor-in-chief of Global Corporate Venturing, and isn't it nice to be back? It's just good to see people, and it's good to actually start to get some of that networking and conversation back, because actually that's what will drive the business of the future. And that's effectively what we're all about here, which is about where innovation meets capital to make, hopefully, the world a better place. And given that this week and next week is all about COP26, it feels more important than ever on that side of things. So I think before we start, we've got obviously a programme. I'll introduce Nacho shortly. But effectively, I want to do a couple of quick thank yous. Obviously, all the sponsors who will be up. But also, I've got a little slide to say thank you to you all, the attendees, not just for this symposium, which is our 10th, but also the GCVI Summit, which we held a few weeks ago in California. So thank you to you all. It's a lot of companies there. So if you squint, you might see your corporate name there as well. But we've actually sort of limited it. We limited California to 300 attendees. We've limited this to 300 to hopefully bring people back together, hopefully better, but also together in terms of the numbers to make sure that we have the right connections. This is the first, although we've been going 10 years with this symposium, this is the first where we actually have a digital hybrid as well. So it's being recorded. We'll be showing to the attendees from around the world who can't make it here to make sure we get the best of both worlds. The attendees here, but also the attendees around the world. So thank you on that behalf. And I suppose over the past 10 years, there's been a number of themes that have come across from the speakers and the attendees from these symposiums. So very briefly, some of them have been obviously around the strategic and financial values and conversations on that side. We've obviously seen challenges in dealing with portfolio companies, being able to find, invest, manage, and then exit them. Obviously, corporate ventures bring more than just capital. They add value. If you think about what an entrepreneur wants, she's really looking for 5 or 6 things. She wants capital, customers, product development, hiring, and an exit, and maybe some regulatory support as well. But I think there's also the support and the challenges of dealing with the C-suite, those changes, those personnel on that side of things. And then there's also the increase in professionalism and experience that the industry has shown over the past 10 years through the GCV Institute that's been held the past couple of days. That giving back from the mentors to the next generation, as well as the broader business development and the executives within corporations, is hugely important. So delighted to have Jana here, who's helping out on the Institute, as well as Paul Morris, and the benchmarking that will be able to come. So do think about some of those options. And now I'll turn to the really exciting bit, which I had the great pleasure of opening the introduction with Nacho Jimenez, who's the managing partner of BP Ventures. He's also the chairman of Finite Carbon. And if you think about BP Ventures and their journey that they've been on over these past 10 years, they sum up, in many ways, the best of what corporate venturing can achieve. So we're delighted that Nacho can open today's as co-chair, and tomorrow we will have the other co-chair in Eileen Tangle. But very briefly, before sort of Nacho comes on, if you think about BP Ventures 10 years ago, they were almost a voice within their corporate thinking about sustainability and the energy transition. Now, 10 years later, the whole company, in effect, represents that under new CEO Bernard Looney. And I think that is really strategic impact and a strategic value where you can take something and turn a whole company into it. So it's not just about financial values. Obviously, they've had fantastic success and performance on that side as well, but strategically, what they've been able to do under the sort of new overall co-chair, Megan Sharp, has been really inspiring. So really delighted and honoured you could do that. And also, if you think about what they now do, it's not just corporate venture capital or finding some good portfolio companies. It's about that wider piece. How do they think about the private equity style, the BP Launchpad, of which Finite Carbon is probably a good example? And understanding, actually, that corporate venturing, when done well, is about bringing strategic change internally and impact externally. So it's a great pleasure to welcome to the stage Nacho.
Thank you, Jim. Thank you. Good morning, everyone. How are you today? Are you excited to be here? Come on, that energy has to go up in the room, okay? Come on, come on. Well done. Thank you, everyone. It's a real pleasure to be here. It's a real pleasure to be among friends, and friends to be known faces and less known faces after the last 2 years that we've had. It's really an honor for me to be chairing this morning's GCV, particularly knowing that it's the 10th anniversary. So last year, celebrated my 10th wedding anniversary, as we could, in a lockdown with kids. So after the last 18 months, I guess we're all very happy to be here. Now, what 18 months we've had? It's been tough. Nobody could predict what has happened in the world. It has changed. The world has changed, as we all know. But we have all been keeping very active. And by all of us, I mean all of us here. We have been so active that we have changed the corporate venture capital industry. A lot has changed in the last 18 months. Some of my reflections. A couple of years ago, there were venture capital funds and corporate venture capital funds, or units. They were sort of the outliers. They were the people that took the risk. Nobody understands how so many companies don't work and then one works and pays for the whole portfolio. Today, venture capital is a recognized, a required asset class to have a balanced portfolio. And that is a big change. That's why we are seeing so many CVC units coming. That's why we're seeing so many venture capital funds coming, right? And those new units, all the people that's coming to the industry, is making that the amounts of money flowing into startups in whatever we do, whatever area we do, is really booming. The last year, we have done more deals than ever before. And later, we'll hear the numbers. I don't know, but that is my guess, and I guess that's everyone's guess. The third change is sustainability has gone mainstream. Clean tech is not something that we did in the 2000s. Everyone is investing in sustainability. Everyone is thinking that the future is going to look different from the present. And it's going to have to look sustainable, or there won't be a future. So those three changes are having a big impact into what we do here. The new people that is coming to the CVC space. I guess for many of you, this will be the first symposium you come to. I've been here a few times. Last year, digital only. For those people, how do we get them up to speed fast to make a change and make a positive change? BP has always been a supporter of the GCV Institute and the Leadership Academy, organized as well from GCV. Thank you, Jim. It's a way of giving to the community, creating good connections, sharing with other units, and as well bringing up those people that we are hiring that are new to the space faster to make a difference to our units. So I encourage you to have a look and join them. So while COP26 is going on in Glasgow, we decided to come here to London instead. Have we got the address wrong? What's going on here? Okay. We're here because what's going on in Glasgow is very important for the future of the planet. But here, what we're doing is also important. We are here to share, we are here to connect, and we are here to collaborate. So over the next couple of days, please connect with as many people as you can. Make sure that you join the GCVI, make sure that you join the Leadership Society, and you talk to as many people as you can. So, we said that the world is changing, and we are changing the world. And we want the change to be a positive change. It's our responsibility, it's in our hands. Because not all of us invest for impact, but we all have impact when we invest. The decisions that we take, the companies that we back, the people that we work with, have an impact in what the world is going to look like in 10, 20, and 30 years. So keep in mind that responsibility when you're looking at your next investment or your next collaboration. So the first keynote this morning, it's a real pleasure for me to introduce the chair of the Global Social Impact Investment Steering Group. He's been described as the father of British venture capital and the father of social investing. His 2020 book, Impact, it's outside to pick up for free. I'm a bookworm. Every time I see a book, I need to pick it up, I need to read it. to the disappointment of my wife, that always wants to do something else. She likes reading as well, but I always like to have a big pile of books to read. I encourage you to pick it up as well and read it.